I'm not good at doing it that way myself. And then I also really like inaudible whispering. Depending on how tired I am. I have a hard time with real word whispering just because I'm trying to listen instead of just relaxing. 𝗲𝗵𝗲